Good morning, everyone. So, hope you're ready for some balance work. We'll start off with some balance work, and then at the end, we'll end off with a bit of relaxation. All right, so let's get started. So, I hope that you are remembering to snack during the week and not just on your favorite exercises. Remember, it's often those exercises that we don't like, that those ones are the most valuable because we don't like them because they're more challenging. But also, if you do have a sore back or another injury, do follow those modifications. So always be mindful as to how your body's feeling. Standing spine roll. So tripod with the feet, keep your knees soft and make sure that you're beelining. Deep breath in, grow taller. Breathing out, chin to chest, peel your spine off that imaginary wall. Notice how far down you are reaching. Beeline, use the abdominals to support your spine, uncurling to the upright. And again, breathe in, grow taller. Breathing out, chin to chest and roll it down. Crown of the head down towards the floor. Beeline, breathing out, use the abdominals and uncurl to the upright. And last one, breathe in, grow taller, breathing out, chin to chest and roll it down. Notice how far you are reaching and use those abdominals to support the spine, uncurl to the upright. I'm just going to change that slightly. Okay. So a bit of balance work. We're going to do that wide knee squat, reaching down and then coming up. You can hold on to some hand weights if you like to work a little bit harder. And otherwise, if you are battling with your balance, you can hold on to a chair. All right. So just that correct technique. I'll show you from sideways first of all. You want a nice flat back. So be careful of that arching. Tuck under a flat back. So it's not a straight back, it's a flat back. And we aim to reach down as far as we can, squeeze the buttocks, and then we'll rise up onto our toes. You'll notice your hip should be above your ankle. So watch out for that sort of thing. Don't do that. And your kneecaps, your feet are turned out, and your kneecaps are going to track in line with those second toes. If you're finding it hard, you may just do a small squat and then rise up and try to balance. Get those inner thighs working as you balance. So doing it with me. Take yourself down as deep into that squat as your knees will allow you. Squeeze the buttocks, squeeze in from the inner thighs and rise right up. Don't be in a hurry. Tuck under with the tailbone. Take it down. Squeeze the buttocks, squeeze in from the inner thighs, rising right up. Shoulder blades are in pocket. Take it down. Squeeze the buttocks, squeeze in from the inner thighs, rising right up. Contract through those small muscles of the feet and from your inner thighs. Take it down, bend your knees, make sure those knees are nice and wide, tracking in line with your second toe, and rising up. Otherwise, it might look like that, just a small squat and then a rise up. So do which ones are best for your knees. So take it down, squeeze the buttocks, squeeze in from the inner thighs, rising right up. And down, get those knees out nice and wide, and rise up onto the balls of the feet. Take it down and rise it up. Push those knees out wide, squeeze the buttocks as you rise up. And again, take it down, squeeze the buttocks, rising up, squeeze your core, take it down and rise it up, and take it down, grand finale, rise it up, and raise the arms up to the head. And if you're feeling brave, close your eyes. And take it down. Well done. While we're working those legs, we'll just do some single leg squats. Warm the legs up before we stretch them. So if the single leg squats are too much for you, you can sit in your chair. So remember, you can take a seat, well back, supported into that chair. Straighten your knee, make sure that your foot is flexed. Lock the knee, hold, 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 and then take it down. And for about 10 each side, it's not just swinging the leg, it's all about that hold as you get your thigh muscle working. So your single leg squats, once again, holding those hand weights. And full weight on your right leg. Make sure, once again, back is flat, knee is behind the line of the toes. Drop those buttocks down as low as you can. As you come up, your hip ends up above that ankle. Make sure you don't keep rocking back onto that back foot. Full weight on that front leg. That other leg is just for balance, and your kneecaps are in line with your second toe. So just be careful of this sort of thing. Keep those legs aligned. Doing it with me. So if you need to, you can just go halfway. Otherwise, you're going as low as you can. Chest to the thighs, squeeze the buttocks to come up. So it's a nice functional movement. Imagine you're picking something up off the floor. Breathe out to lower, deep breath in to come up. Keeping those knees aligned, don't let them have that little inwards roll. Squeeze the buttocks. Push up through your heels, squeeze the buttocks to drive yourself up. Drop those buttocks down as low as you can, that is comfortable for your knee joints. Breathing out to lower, deep breath in to come up. One more. Change legs, make sure those feet are hip distance apart and not too wide. It's not a lunge, it's a single leg squat. Keep that knee behind the line of the toes. Squeeze the buttocks to drive up. Nice deep breaths. Breathe out to lower, deep breath in to come up. Get those buttocks down as low as you can as you move through as large a range of movement as possible within your discomfort of that front knee. Squeeze the buttocks to drive up. Nearly there. Last one. Drop those buttocks low. Squeeze the buttocks coming up. And we'll bring it down to the floor. You should have warmed up a little, and so it should be easier to stretch. As I mentioned last time, in winter, just being a little bit careful first thing in the morning, because you will be stiffer because of the cold. So you may not go as much as you be able to stretch as much as you usually do. So just being mindful of how those muscles are feeling. But hopefully you've warmed up a bit now. Just bring you in a bit closer. And I'm going to do start stretches. I'll just show you sideways. The soles of the feet are together. You can sit against a wall. You want your lower back to be upright. Make sure the feet aren't in too close to you sitting like that. Take the feet comfortably far away so that you're sitting upright. If necessary, you can sit on a cushion. And you're going to be rounding through the spine, taking the nose towards the below. Press the bent knees down towards the floor and round through your spine as much as you can, but you're not leaning forwards. Your lower back stays upright. Trying to keep your elbows in line with your ears. Nice deep breaths. Get the breath to the base of the lungs. Keep pressing those bent knees towards the floor, rounding as if you're curling over a big beach ball. Squeeze the core, deep breath in to uncurl, reach it up, and relax it down. Now same stretch with the legs out straight, slumping forwards from the rib cage, not leaning forwards. So make sure that your feet are upright and you're drawing back from the middle toe, inner thighs are squeezed. Hands between the shoulder blades, elbows tucked close to the head and curling forwards from your rib cage. Nice deep breaths. Relax a little further into that stretch on your breath out. Be careful not to pull from your neck. Squeeze your ribs towards your hips. Squeeze the core, deep breath in to uncurl. Reach it up and relax it down. We'll lie on our backs for hamstring stretch. And for a change, we won't use the band. You can use it if you want to. Raising the right leg up, interlink your fingers behind your thigh or that firm stretch behind your calf. You can pop your pillow behind your head or rolled up towel to support your neck. And straighten the left leg for a firm stretch. Pressing up with the heel, down with the hip. Bend the elbows, pull your knee towards your shoulder. Flex and point your foot. Keep your shoulder blades pressed into the floor, chin tucked in, neck nice and long. Get the knee as straight as possible, but a small bend is fine. Flex and point through that foot, really pulling those toes back. Make sure that you're pressing your hip into the floor and change legs. Now, it's better to have a slightly bent knee and have that leg more upright as opposed to having the leg straight and the leg is back there. All right, so make sure that you are feeling it into the hamstring. So bend the knee if you need to. So pressing up with the heel, down with the hip, bend the elbows, knee to shoulder, coming into that hamstring. Then flex and point. Breathe through your stretch, always consciously relaxing a stretch muscle. Keep your chin tucked in, press your shoulder blades onto the floor. Easing out of that, your buttock stretch, right foot on the left knee, hold behind your left thigh or in front of that left knee for a firmer stretch. Hug that thigh in close, tuck your chin in, try dropping that left knee slightly to the left-hand side, just looking for that firmer stretch into your right buttock. And changing sides, holding behind the right thigh or in front of that right knee, hugging the thigh to the chest. And if you need to, drop that right knee a little to the right-hand side, just looking for that firmer stretch into your left buttock. And easing out of that. And now we are going to do a calf stretch. You can do a calf stretch against the wall if you've got sore shoulders, or you can do downward dog. So it's either elbows on the wall, make sure that that foot is straight, bend that front knee, pressing your heel down, or otherwise into downward dog. Make sure that your fingers are spread wide, knees in underneath your hips, wrist in underneath your shoulder, tuck your toes, and slowly alternate with the legs to press one heel down towards the floor at a time. Keep the weight more on the little toe side of your foot. Make sure that you are beelining and pushing away with your hands. Now push down with both. Tuck your chin and look towards your knees. Flatten your spine. Try to straighten the knees as much as you can and get your heels as flat onto the floor as possible. Keeping the weight on the little toe side of the foot. And easing out of that. And we're going to lie over onto our stomachs for a thigh stretch. Now, if you're back in to reach that ankle, you can do your stretch on your side. But over on your stomach, it gets you doing that full range of movement because sometimes we cheat when we go over on the side. So your whole body's in a straight line, reaching back for that full range of movement. Your heels should be able to touch the buttock while you are squeezing your buttocks and pressing your hips down flat, and while you are beelining. Draw those abdominals away from the floor. If you're not getting this full range of movement, then it can impact on your lower back. So if your stretch looks more like that, those tight thigh muscles are pulling your pelvis into the wrong position. Changing sides, and also for the health of those knee joints. But sometimes you are restricted with pain in the knee, but you're gradually trying to get that heel as close to the buttock as you can, because otherwise those tight thigh muscles can also give you sore knees. Press your hips down, pull the abdominals in. And easing out of that. And coincidentally, we are nearly in the hover position. We're going to do a revolving hover today. 30 seconds on one side, a minute on the front, and 30 seconds on the other side. If you do have a sore shoulder, you may need to stay on your knees. And if it's too much for you to put pressure on one shoulder, you can just continue and do the full hover on your front. All right, so work within your limits. Whichever one you're doing, whether it's a side hover or a front hover, be aware of the position of your pelvis, drawing in and tucking under. No arching in the back because the back muscles are taking over then. Okay. Good. Water. Make sure your elbows directly and underneath your shoulder. You can stay on the knees or on the feet. So 30 seconds, lift it up and hold it there, reaching that top arm up. Now for a challenge, pulse your hips up to the ceiling. So it's a blast breath out as you pulse those hips to the ceiling. So it's it does also make your shoulder work more strongly. So don't pulse if it is bothering your shoulder. Last breath out, you should feel it working around your waist. It's time to turn onto your front. So try not to let those buttocks go to the floor. So now your hips should be up at shoulder height. You can go to the knees if you need to. You are concentrating on that tuck under with the tailbone. Neck is in line with the rest of the spine. So breathe in for 4. Breathing out for 6. Breathe all the air out, squeezing the core as well as engaging through the pelvic floor. I want you to concentrate on that pelvic floor. If you're not concentrating on it, you can tend to bear down. If you're bearing down, you're weakening and not strengthening. So on that breath out, squeezing core as well as pelvic floor. Getting ready. And time to roll over onto your other side. Excuse my back. Last breath out as you pulse your hips up towards the ceiling. Shoulders vertically stacked, hips vertically stacked. Last breath out, pulsing your hips up. Release it gently. And with those shoulders, a circle. Well done. Hopefully you made your 2 minutes. The revolving hover can be a little easier than doing 2 minutes on the front. Good. Okay. Side to side, one of my favorite ones because it's giving that full rotation. We often tend to move forwards and backwards, but don't tend to do lateral flexion or twisting as much, and it is important for the health of the spine. So a bit of flexibility first. Arms out shoulder level. Palms are facing up. Keep your feet on the floor initially. Push through with the hips. So getting those knees as low onto the floor as you can. Use the abdominals to rock the legs back up and smoothly to the other side. So pushing through with your hips. Keep your shoulders down nice and flat. Pelvic tilt, use the abdominals to rock the legs back up again. So don't just swing those legs up. Make sure that you are activating through those abdominals. If your back is sore, keep your feet on the floor and gradually nudge yourself down lower. Otherwise, knees in line with the belly button, feet lifted higher than the knees. Now, as you drop those knees to the side, keep your knees in line with the belly button and your calves should be parallel to the floor. So watch out for this sort of thing. Don't do that. Calves are parallel to the floor. Squeeze core and inner thighs. Keep your knees locked together. So as you return to the center, knees in line with the belly button, feet a little higher than the knees. As they go to the side, the knees stay in line with your belly button. And those calves are parallel to the floor. Breathing out to lower. Deep breath in to raise. So the breathing is also giving you the speed at which to be moving. Think of 3 things as you lift. Squeeze knees, squeeze core, and pelvic floor. Keep those knees glued together throughout. Make sure you're keeping your shoulders flat. If that shoulder is lifting up, don't take your legs quite so low. 1 more to each side, keeping those shoulders nice and flat. Last one. And back up again. Relax your feet to the floor. Now holding the twist as a stretch. If you have got a sore back, keep your knees vertically stacked and get those knees as close into your armpit as you comfortably can. That firmer stretch. Right leg out straight, so in a straight line with the body. Left leg up and over, foot to the floor. Then within your limits of discomfort, ease that knee down. Don't force it, just breathe through it and relax into it. You can use the hand to gently guide that knee towards the floor. Make sure that you beelining so that your lower back stays supported throughout. Squeeze the core, use the abdominals carefully and slowly up. And to the other side, either vertically stacked or left leg out straight. Right leg up and over, foot to the floor, and gently ease that knee down, keeping that right shoulder as flat onto the floor as you can. If it's pulling too much, you can lower the arm down a little. Remember to breathe and to beeline so your back is supported. Consciously relax your lower back muscles. Squeeze the core, use the abdominals carefully and slowly up and give your knees a rock into the chest. So it is a firm stretch on your lower back. Give your knees a circle. Reverse your circle. Okay, we're going to do a single leg stretch. So this one's all about using those abdominals with your lower back imprinted and about flexibility of your hip joint. So first of all, we'll be hugging the knee into the chest to get that flexibility, and thereafter we're going to do it without hugging the knee in. If your neck is sore, now's the time to get that cushion behind your head. All right. If you'd like it to, knees are into the chest, lower back is imprinted. Bit of coordination, it's the outer hand on the ankle, other hand on the knee. So if it is your right leg, you have right hand on the ankle, other hand on the knee. The leg you're extending, 45 degrees to make it easier, foot flexed and turned out, so that's sore backs, otherwise legging low to the floor. So it's a piston action, you keep it down low, you keep pushing towards that same point, or otherwise push it to that higher point. You don't push it and then lower it. It's not a bicycle, it's a piston. Okay. If that coordination is too much for you today, put both hands on the knee and hug that knee in as you extend the leg. But try to get that coordination. You're trying to have the leg straight, and sometimes if you grab it with the wrong one, that leg's coming at an angle. So breathe out to extend, breathe in to bend. So that last breath out, make sure that shoulder blades are in pocket, you are beelining, and bend your elbows to get that knee as close into your armpit as possible. The leg you're extending, your foot is flexed and turned out. Beeline, pull those abdominals in. Now keep your arms to the side and use the abdominals to pull that bent knee to your chest. Squeezing ribs to hips. And look towards the leg that you are straightening. Your lower back should stay imprinted onto the floor. A strong sigh out as you extend. Breathe in to bend. 1 more to each side. And hug those knees in close. Squeeze your thighs to your chest. All right, hopefully you felt those abdominals. We're going to roll over onto our sides, and you've got two options here, working through the oblique abdominals, a double side leg lift or a lift of the torso and the legs. Just be careful with your positioning here. Make sure that you're lying on the outer edge of your mat and your legs come forwards from your mat. Tuck with the pelvis. Whole upper body is in a straight line. Hips are vertically stacked. Now, your easier variation, you're just going to be lifting from your legs. Really important to keep vertically stacked and try to maintain a space between your waist and the floor. So don't just sink in, lift up through your waist. So it's a blast breath out. It is a small lift. Keep those inner thighs glued together. Now, palm face, your more challenging one, palm facing down. And you're going to, and arm is over here. Raise top leg, bottom leg blast, and reach. Try and lift the torso and the legs an equal amount off the floor and release it down. Make sure those legs stay forwards. They don't come back in a straight line with the body. You will start to arch into your back. So once again, that flat back by using those abdominals to maintain that tuck. The first 10 will just get the legs down, and thereafter I'll talk you through that more challenging variation, but you can just continue with that easier variation. So hand on the far edge of your mat. Last breath out is a small lift up off the floor, and you are squeezing your core. Think of using the muscles around the waist and lifting from the inner thigh of the bottom leg. Okay, so continue with that. Doing 20 in your own time, otherwise we'll do 10 of the more challenging one. Top leg, bottom leg, blast, reach. Keep those legs forwards and take it down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. Squeeze, rib to hip. Up onto your hand, not just your elbow there. And take it down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. Squeeze, rib to hip. Lift those legs, tuck with the pelvis. And down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. Reach. Well done, Maureen. That's looking great. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. And reach. And take it down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. Reach. Good, Rachel. And down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. Squeeze, rib to hip. Lift those legs a little higher, Amber. And down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. Squeeze, rib to hip. And down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. Squeeze, rib to hip. And down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. And hold it there. Try and lift those legs another centimeter. Torso another centimeter. And relax. And other side. Well done. So just try to keep vertically stacked. Lying right on the outer edge of your mat, and your legs are forwards from your mat. So guard against those legs coming back, keep them forwards. So 10 first of all with the hand down and just moving the legs. Keep that space between your waist and the floor if you're just moving your legs. I want to hear that last breath out. So that last breath out gives you that stronger abdominal contraction. Keep your feet glued together. Okay, so you can do 20 of those in your own time. So they're done fairly fast. Try to not touch the floor between repetitions. Otherwise, join me for that more challenging one. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. Up onto your hand. Squeeze ribs to hips. Keep vertically stacked. Tuck with the pelvis. And down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. Squeeze rib to hip. Squeeze your core. And down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. Squeeze rib to hip. And down. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. No rolling backwards. Keep vertically stacked onto your hand. And down. Top leg, bottom leg, squeeze rib to hip. And down. Top leg, bottom leg, squeeze rib to hip. That last breath out. Keep vertically stacked. Top leg, bottom leg, squeeze rib to hip. Onto your hand, lift those legs. And down. Top leg, bottom leg, squeeze ribs to hips. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. And down one more. Top leg, bottom leg, blast. Squeeze rib to hip. Now lift those legs a little higher, torso a little higher, and relax. Well done. Hopefully you felt it working around your waist. All right, it's time for a bit of fun, just in case you weren't having fun before. Now we're going to do a single leg. We're going to be doing these ones. If your back is sore and this position is not comfortable for you, feel free at any time to go back to perfect abdominal curl, which we haven't done today. Keep those elbows wide, maintain your natural curve, squeeze ribs to hips. So be mindful as to how your back is feeling. If you're just feeling that those abdominals are working strongly, then challenge yourself. If you feel pain through into that lower back, even with trying to correct your position, then this one's not for you. All right, so you're going to lean back, lean your torso back to a 45-degree angle, that your back is straight, so you're not sinking into your hips, not rounding the back, you're up with a straight back. Shoulders are relaxed, holding the back of your thighs. Right leg, left leg, both legs, close, open, and down. Squeeze your core. If you're not squeezing the core, you'll roll over backwards, and we'll all know you're not squeezing the core. But fortunately, you're in the comfort of your living room. Right leg, so your dog will know. Left leg, both legs, squeeze the inner thighs, and take it down. Squeeze your core. Right leg, left leg, both legs, squeeze those inner thighs. No hands. And down. Right leg, left leg, both legs, squeeze the inner thighs, no hands. And down. Right leg, left leg, both legs. Now if you need to, you can bend those knees to make it a little easier as you do no hands. Otherwise, try to have those legs straight. Keep a nice narrow V and take it down. Right leg, left leg, both legs, squeeze the inner thighs, no hands. Nice narrow V. And down. Right leg, left leg, both legs, squeeze those inner thighs, no hands. And relax. Well done. Okay. We will do the some rollbacks, so strengthening those abdominals through that range of movement. You can hold onto your band or you can hold your hand weights. We will be doing 12. You can do 6 of the teaser each side. So I'll just talk you through 2 rollbacks and you can do the teaser. Draw shoulder blades into pocket, roll halfway back, get that rocking back, that tucking with the pelvis, and squeeze ribs to hips. Otherwise, take yourself down as low as you can. You can still bring yourself back up again. Tuck the chin and look towards those abdominals so your neck is in the right position. Otherwise, your teaser. Keep your knees level, both feet are flexed. So we'll do 6 each side. Last breath out, reaching for your toes, sink into the hips to roll it down. Squeeze ribs to hips, reach for your toes, tucking, tucking, tucking. Squeezing ribs to hips, reach for the toes, beeline, pull those abdominals in. Squeeze ribs to hips, reaching for the toes, curve into your back, roll it down. Squeeze ribs to hips, reaching for the toes, rolling down. One more. Squeeze ribs to hips, reach for the toes, roll it down, and change legs. Keep your knees level. Squeeze ribs to hips, reaching for your toes, tucking, tucking, tucking. Peel your spine up, reach for the toes, roll your back down. Squeeze ribs to hips, reaching for the toes, keep that knee straight, tucking, tucking. Last breath out, reach for your toes, roll it down. Squeeze ribs to hips, reaching for your toes, roll it down. One more. Last breath out, reaching for your toes, roll it down, and your nice stretch. Just lift up, lengthen into your back, And arms up and overhead. Get your whole body as flat onto the floor as possible. Tuck your chin in. Press the back of the arms to the floor. Press the chin down. Upper back to the floor. Pelvic tilt to press that lower back down. Trying to get your whole body as flat onto the floor as possible. Notice where you are tight and where you're battling to get back to the floor. Hopefully you are starting to, with each week, get a little flatter. And easing out of that. All right, we're going to sit up and a spiral stretch. So stretching out through our sides. So one leg directly in front of the other foot at the level of the knee. You'll be in this rotated position. When you come out of the stretch, if you do have a sore back, face the straight leg when you're ankle. You can face the bent leg if your back is not sore. So you should feel the stretch through your side. It may come into that lower back a little. Just be careful as you come out of that. Don't overstretch. It is a strong stretch. Deep breath in, rotate to the bent leg. Breathing out, take yourself across to the straight leg. Holding the inside of the foot if you can reach it. And slide your hand between the shoulder blades. Tuck your elbow close. Twist your chest to the ceiling. Bend the elbow armpit closer to that straight leg. If you're flexible and want a firmer stretch, take the hand that's on the foot, walk it forwards at a 45-degree angle, reach the other hand over to touch the foot. Look underneath the armpit towards the ceiling, twisting as much as you can. Deep breaths, get the breath to the base of the lungs. Consciously relax your stretch muscles. One more deep breath, stretch both hands out towards the straight leg, facing straight or bent leg. Squeeze the quarter ankle and release it down into the other side. Make sure that knee stays straight. Hold the leg where you comfortably can if you can't reach your foot. Deep breath in, rotate to the bent leg. Breathing out, take yourself across to the straight leg. Holding the inside of the foot if you can reach it. Other hand between the shoulder blades. Tuck your elbow close to your head. Twisting your chest up to the ceiling, bending the elbow, armpit closer to that straight leg. Nice deep breaths, get the breath to the base of the lungs. Keep twisting your chest up towards the ceiling. If you reach into the pretzel on the other side, do the same on this side. Consciously relaxing those stretch muscles and easing into your stretch on your breath out. One more deep breath, stretch both hands out towards the straight leg, facing straight or bent leg. Squeeze the quarter ankle and release it down. And now you've got the choice of sitting cross-legged for your twist. Otherwise, if you'd like a firmer stretch, so if you've got a hip replacement, stick to that position. Otherwise, you can have your right leg up, cross over with the left. Now you can at this point turn, or you can bend that leg as well. So hug that left knee towards your chest and turn to the left-hand side. So get that left knee as close into your chest as possible. Press the left buttock down towards the floor. So you're trying to get a stretching through that left buttock and in through the upper back as you twist as much as possible. Keep that bent knee close into your chest. Grow taller and breathe through your stretch. Easing out of that. So now we'll have the left leg out straight, right leg up and over, and we'll have more of a challenge bend that one as well. So hugging that thigh as close to your chest as you can and turning to the right hand side. Press your right buttock into the floor. Grow taller, straighten your spine. Breathe through your stretch. So you're concentrating on that right buttock and between your shoulder blades and the upper back. Relax your shoulders, don't pull around with your neck, look to the side wall. And easing out of that. Well done. Some back strengthening. We'll be over onto our stomachs. And you can pop a small cushion or a rolled up towel to better support your lower back. So if you're doing the easier one, where your one-on-one leg is on the floor, you're maintaining a pelvic tilt. All right. There's a pelvic tilt on your stomach. So, one of our favorites, swimming. So it can be with one arm, one leg resting on the floor, or arms and legs are lifted. Make sure you're not hunching, just draw those shoulders back and get that equal lift of the arm and the leg, trying to straighten your elbows as much as possible, straighten your knees as much as possible. Get that equal lift, keep your pelvis nice and still, so you're not rocking from side to side. Squeeze your core, squeeze through the buttocks. Have a short rest. So you can always keep that one arm, one leg resting on the floor if you need to, but make sure that if your back is not sore, do challenge yourself a little and start to at least lift up for a few so that you do get stronger. Another set of that swimming. Remember to draw shoulder blades back into pocket. So don't just hunch around those shoulders, draw them back, straighten your elbows. Breathe out to lift, breathing in to lower. Think about your neck. Make sure that you're looking down towards the floor. Your head is lifted. Your neck is in line with the rest of the spine. Get that equal lift of the arm and the leg. The leg is easier to lift. Make sure you're not lifting that leg too high and letting the arm lag behind. Release it down gently. Okay, we're going to do nice fast swimming. You can do your fast swimming with just your legs, and you can, of course, keep it slower if you need to, so you still can touch the floor if you need to. Make sure you're squeezing your core, pull those tummy muscles away from the floor, so that fast swimming or fast swimming arms and legs. Percussion breathing, breathe in 5 bursts, breathing out in 5 bursts. For a challenge, try to do that slightly larger range of movement, as long as you're still keeping your torso locked completely still. Release it down gently. All right, a double leg kick. We haven't done this one for a while, so make sure that you're watching. Now, it is a little bit more challenging, so if you need to, you can do your easier variation is your diamond press. Just a small lift up off the floor to make it easier. So it is a bit more of a challenge. Interlink your fingers. Your palms are facing up towards the ceiling and your head is turned to one side. Squeeze your heels. Your feet are flexed and turned out. Keep your hips pressed into the floor. Kick towards the buttocks 3 times. Straighten the legs. Your thighs are off the floor. And reach hands for toes, pinching your shoulder blades. You can, if it's too much, release the hands at that point. And as you take it down, your head rests in the opposite direction. Press your hips into the floor, kick towards the buttocks 3 times, thighs are off the floor, lift the chest and the thighs equally up off the floor, pinch your shoulder blades, and release it down. Now with the breathing, last breath out. Deep breath in as you lift, pinching your shoulder blades, and release it down. Straighten the legs, reach hands for toes, pinch those shoulder blades, squeeze your core, and release it down. Reach hands for toes, squeeze your shoulder blades, and release. Lifting up, reach hands for toes, lift your thighs, lift your chest, squeeze the core, and release it down. Reach hands for toes, pinch those shoulder blades, lift those thighs, and release. Reach hands for toes, pinch your shoulder blades, release it down, 1 more to each side. Reach hands for toes, raise the chest, raise the thighs, and release. Last one. Lift, hold, release the arms, and hold it there. Try and lift the chest a little higher, legs a little higher, straight on the knees, pinch your shoulder blades, squeeze your core. Relax. Well done. And we'll do back extensions. Hands next to your shoulders, onto your forearms, onto your hands. Keep your hips pressed onto the floor, shoulders away from the ears. Keep those elbows soft, back onto the elbows and down. Remember, if you are tightened through the lower back, you can just bring yourself up there, or you can take your hands further forward so you're getting less bend into your back, in which case your elbows will come out to the side. But be careful now, hunching shoulders away from your ears. So breathe in to push up and breathing out to release yourself down. Shoulders away from the ears. Keep those elbows tucked in to bring yourself down. Deep breath in to push up, breathing out to release. Deep breath in, shoulders away from the ears, breathing out as you release. Breathing in to lift and breathing out to lower. One more, pushing up, release it down and into rest position. So now it is normal to feel some discomfort, some tightness into your lower back because you've been strengthening those back muscles. So important to always follow that with rest position. So stretch out through your lower back. If your knees are hurting in this position, the rest position, the alternative rest position is lying on your back, hugging your knees to your chest. So I'll just show you that. So either there or there. So it's also stretching out through your back. All right. So we'll be lying on our backs now and do some bridging. I will also give you the alternative of being on your hands. So just talk you through one of the bridging and you can choose which one you're wanting to do. So whichever one you are doing, you are strengthening through those buttocks and the hamstrings and your inner thighs. Palms facing up, no pillow behind the head, your ankle in underneath your knee. Feet are straight, not turned out, and feet are about a fist width apart. Pelvic tilt, rock back on the pelvis until your lower back is completely flat on the floor. Sharon, is your back completely flat? Make sure it's pushed down, pull those tummy muscles in to push down. Get that stretching through your back, activate through tummy and pelvic floor. Just release back to neutral. So make sure that you hold your pelvic tilt for a moment. Don't use the buttocks for the tuck, it's the tummy. Once you lift up, now you squeeze the buttocks. Go into a straight line. Make sure that you're not hyperextending and lifting up there. Maintain that tuck with the pelvis. The tummy muscles stay active. You're not going into hyperextension. And then roll your back down. Keep that tuck. It's the very last thing you release to neutral. No pushing forwards into a large arch. Just back to neutral. So we often have a sore lower back because we're not sure where our neutral is. So we think our neutral is where we've got a large curve into the back, whereas it's actually a lot flatter. So be more aware of that position of the pelvis and how you use the tummy muscles to move that pelvis. So you're tucking using the tummy, squeeze the buttocks, peel the spinal, tuck your chin and shoulders flat, squeeze buttocks, squeeze inner thighs, tuck with the pelvis, roll it down, keep that tuck, keep that tuck. It's the very last thing that you release. So continue with that in your own time. Otherwise, join me for the more challenging one. You're onto your hands and you will squeeze the buttocks and push your hips to the ceiling. Release it down gently. Soft elbows, pinch your shoulder blades. So squeeze the buttocks, push the hips up, release it down. Breathing out to lift. Breathing in to lower. Make sure that you're beelining, squeezing the buttocks, trying to get that straight line from your shoulder to your knee. Tuck your chin in so that you look towards your knees. Squeeze the buttocks. So make sure you're not lifting just to there. Push those hips up higher. Deb, get those buttocks higher. And release it gently. Squeeze the buttocks. Push your hips up. Release it down. Squeeze the buttocks. Pressing the hips up. Soft elbows. Release it down. Squeeze the buttocks. Press the hips up. Release it down. Squeeze the buttocks to push your hips to the ceiling. Release it gently. One more. Pushing your hips up. Release it down. Give those wrists a little shake. And hug your knees into the chest. Okay. We will stand up and do some arms using the hand weights. Head off. So some quick arms so that we've got a few minutes for meditation at the end. Standing on one leg for more of a challenge, check that your hips are level. So we'll do the rotator cuff, tuck your elbows in, elbow, shoulder and wrist at the same height, wrist above the elbow, take it back down and tuck in. End in this position, make sure you're not coming back to there. So the arms are parallel. Elbow, shoulder and wrist at the same height, wrist above the elbow, take it back down and tuck in. Be vigilant as to the position of your neck, head balancing on the top of the neck, no chin poking. Keep your shoulder blades gently pinched, keep nice and open through your chest. As you come up, try and bring your wrist above the elbow. Take it back down and tuck in. No hunching with your shoulders. Keep those shoulders pressed away from your ears. Stop, change legs, keep those arms lifted, push up to the ceiling, pull back. Squeeze your core. Keep lengthening through the crown of the head, looking directly forwards. Stop, change legs, straighten the arms, bring the arms in and a gentle pinch between your shoulder blades. So those arms are going back behind your torso. Be careful to keep your chin tucked in so you're not jutting out through the chin as those arms come back behind your torso. Stop, change legs, keep those arms lifted and small circles. Take those arms back behind your torso. Keep your elbows soft, keep your head still. Keep your chin tucked in, keep the tension out of the neck, head balancing on the top of the neck. No chin poking, reverse it. Pinch between your shoulder blades. Keep your head still. Stop, hold it there. Keep your neck relaxed and relax. Well done. And a few minutes of meditation. So if you want to, you can pop the legs up onto the chair or pop the legs up the wall or keep your knees bent if your back is sore or have your legs out straight. So just be vigilant as to how that lower back is feeling, and you can pop your head onto a cushion if you want to. And put a towel over you if you feel you're going to be getting cold. So lying down and closing your eyes. First of all, bring your attention to your breathing. Relax your tummy muscles because you're going to be breathing into the tummy. The breath comes through the rib cage, expands sideways into the rib cage, and bring the breath right up to the collarbones. And on your breath out, relax through the collarbones, relax through the rib cage, and gently putting the tummy in as you breathe the last bit of breath out. So relax the tummy muscles, the tummy rise. Then expand sideways through the rib cage. Fill the lungs right up to your collarbones. And on your breath out, relax through the collarbones, relax through the rib cage, and gently pulling the tummy in. Keep the deep, slow, rhythmical breathing flowing throughout. So thoughts may come and thoughts may go, but on your breath out, just release those thoughts. So don't be disturbed if you have an active mind, just keep bringing it back to the breathing and to your muscles. So now bring your attention to your body. Still keep that deep rhythmical breathing flowing throughout. You'll be breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in for 5 and a slow breath out for 5. Think about your body. Notice where you are resting on the floor and where you have space between your body and the floor. Have you got equal pressure on left and right side? Are your hands flopping out equally? Are the feet flopping out equally? Notice any areas of tension, and on your breath out, try and relax into those areas of tension or pain. Now flex your feet strongly and curl your toes in tight. So flex those feet as strongly as possible. Imagine you're holding a pencil in underneath your toes. And now separate your toes out wide. Have a space between each toe. And circle your ankles. Large circles, and reverse your circle and relax. Now straighten your legs, press the back of the knees into the floor, lock your knees out completely straight. Feel your calves contract, feel your thighs contract. Those kneecaps are tight. Make sure both legs are completely tight. And then relax. Just flop the legs side to side and let them flop out equally. Squeeze the buttocks tight and relax through the buttocks. Pull the tummy in and press your lower back onto the floor. And relax. Make a tight fist with both hands, squeezing in with the thumbs as well, as tight as possible. Now separate your hands out wide. Pull the thumbs out wide. Make sure you have as large a space as possible between your fingers. And now circle with your wrists. And reverse your circle. As large a circle as you can. Now lock your elbows out completely straight. Feel your forearms contract. Feel your triceps, the upper arms contract. Contract left and right arm equally. And relax, melt into the floor. Let the hands flop out equally. Push your shoulder blades into the floor. Open through the chest and press those shoulder blades down. And relax into your upper back. Tuck the chin in, flatten through the curve of your neck, and relax. Bring your attention to your face. Relax your scalp and your forehead. Relax your eyebrows and your eyes and your cheeks. Relax the mouth and the jaw. Your tongue resting loosely on the roof of the mouth. Relax your lips. Bring your attention back to your breathing. Now we're going to do a slow breath out. Try and extend that breath out for a count of 8. So breathing in for 5, breathing in through the tummy, bring the breath through the rib cage and right up to the collarbones. That long, slow breath out, relax through the collarbones, relax through the rib cage, and putting the tummy in as you breathe the last bit of breath out. So a slow, long expiration. Just gently rock from side to side and relax once more. And once again, breathe into any areas of tension. So on your breath out, relax through those areas of tension or pain. Wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes. Bend your knees and rolling over onto your side. And slowly bringing yourself into sitting cross-legged. Hands resting on your knees and shoulder blades are in pocket, sitting up tall. If necessary, move your feet slightly away from you. Turn to look over your shoulder and over the other side. Drop your head right back and chin to chest. And ear to shoulder. Keep your shoulders level, looking directly forwards, drop ear to shoulder. And to the other side, keeping those shoulders level. And back to the neutral. Tuck the chin in and release to neutral, looking directly forward, so don't drop the chin down. Just make a double chin and release. Tuck in, release, clasp the hands, lifting up. Hunch the shoulders and relax and circle those shoulders out. Remember your principles of good posture. Walk tall and have a great week. Well done.